live in an old 1963 mobile home. Yeah, it won't make the status, you know, the high class status, but this is living that's affordable and cheap. Everything in my home outside is with self-sufficiency. Everything I do has to do with self-sufficiency. I opened my life and I opened up my world to all of you to share with you in tangible ways you can do things. You know, I've been ridiculed for sharing my life in such a way about recanning mustard and ketchup and why do you do all of these things. I've done it to share with the practical person, any person, things that they can do. I share with you how to can if you don't have proper canning equipment, if you want to recan, water bath certain items. I share with you items that you have to pressure can. I went into full details with over 1,000 videos, almost 2,000 videos. I shared my life with all of you. I shared with you in tangible ways how you can go to the grocery store and you can buy frozen vegetables and then you can pressure can them if you don't want to grow them. I shared with you how you can buy mustard and ketchup in large bottles and you can break them down into small ones. For those people who don't want to can in a way where they have to work with the food and process it. I shared with you all of these things. And now I'm sharing with you this. There are many things that are happening in the world. Will they have much of an effect on us? Who knows? When the virus first came out, people never dreamed 2 years later there would be so much talk about it yet. It doesn't matter if things are happening because of man and war and rumors of war, or if things are happening because of sickness or illness, or because it's a natural disaster. Let's face the facts. It's happening. What are we going to do about it? But there's a world of people like me who want to see in tangible ways things they can do to help themselves in the times of crisis. And in helping themselves, they're helping other people, because the more knowledge they have, the more knowledge they're able to share with others. Having stocked food, I think now is very reasonable. I think everybody should have a pantry. I think everybody should at least have 3 to 6 months of food on hand. I think that is not being extreme whatsoever. I believe that most people should have a year. That's my personal belief. That's simply because if you have a family, then you know you're taking care of things. We lived in a society that they didn't think about tomorrow. We lived for today. Many of us did. For years and years and years, we never thought about what if this happens or that. And while we don't focus on those things, we still can't bury our heads in the sand and say, it isn't happening to me, because it can. And it does. It affects all of us. No matter what's happening across the seas, it will affect us in some way. So if gasoline keeps getting higher, then we learn not to go away as much. If the oil prices keep rising, then a lot of us won't be able to heat our homes quite as warm as what we were used to. If the food becomes a lot higher, then we got to pick and choose what kind of food we're going to eat. This is the world that we're living in right now. And who knows how long it will be that way. I hope some of you are thinking about your older years and thinking about maybe you might want to downsize and think about getting out of debt and think about the little things in life. I am going to have a lot of upcoming videos sharing with you in tangible ways that you can live an abundant life on very little. Yes, through the years, I have reaped some success. And through that, I was able to do things and get things that I never could have ever dreamed of getting. But many of you have worked many years and you have some money saved up and you're able to think about little things like water barrels, or think about compost bins, and think about all kinds of things that you could do that you're not relying on trash delivery and all of these things. I hope you continue to follow me in my journey. As I go to the thrift store and spend my $10, I'm buying things at the thrift store that aren't just frivolous things. I'm going to buy things, continue to buy things that I can use on the homestead. A lot of the things that were made 30, 40 years ago is hard to find these days. And getting away from the trinkets and the flimsy things that we are buying is number one thing to really help you and achieve long goal of self-sufficiency. There are many products that I recommend and many products that I don't recommend. And I'm going to continue to show those in my videos as well, because that is what I do. That's what I do for a living. But as we go through what's happening in the world around us, I think it's very important to take stock and just own what we got and what we have, and use it to the fullest potential, using things that we never thought we would use in a different way. And that, my friends, you'll start learning a new way of living. Take, for instance, when we bought this property and the plumbing didn't work, we had no clue. I thought everything had to be done a certain way, until I realized, well, you can do this and you can do that. And as you've seen in my videos, living without amenities, I started learning, wait a minute, you don't have to spend money to fix things up right away. When you don't have the money, you can do things to help yourself out. And that is something I'm really learning. And in my upcoming videos, I'm going to share with you some things that are broken in our mobile home. Recently broke, and I found a new way to work around it until we get it fixed. So my friends, buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a fun videos coming your way. When I say fun, it's because it is a journey. You have to see it as an adventure and not something depressing. We can sit back and put our covers over our head and say, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to do it. And I do that sometimes when things get overwhelming. But wouldn't it be better to think about ways, wait a minute, if this happens, I could do this and I could do that. And being proactive and learning new skills. None of us, my friends, is too old to learn something new. Every single one of us can learn something different every single day. And that takes the fear out of it. Fear sometimes can take over our lives when we want to deny what's happening. But when we face fear, sometimes it can make a world of a difference. And facing our fear can make us strong and make us overcomers. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And just remember, you are never alone. You can spend a day with me every single day of the year. And I hope that I gave you comfort, encouragement, and something of an education as well.